North Carolina, Drake, getting in over West Virginia. There's certainly some storylines here, but what's your initial reaction to that?
Yeah, West Virginia fans are very upset, as they should be. North Carolina has one quad one win. West Virginia has 6. You can take some of these bubble teams that made it in and combine them for 5 quad one wins. West Virginia still has 6, including Arizona and Gonzaga and Iowa State earlier this season, yet they were left out. UNC, NC State, Bubba Cunningham being in the conversation here is maybe the worst optic you could possibly have as well. The Tar Heels of North Carolina sitting right there as now in March Madness, sitting right there, play-in, getting a shot, whereas West Virginia does not. And it becomes increasingly possible Darian Devries, the head coach at West Virginia, who has a ton of Iowa ties, becomes the head coach of the Hawkeyes. It feels like the only real job he would consider because he's an Iowa guy. And with that, West Virginia, in the span of 48 hours, could not only miss March Madness, but also, this is crazy, but also lose the head basketball coach for an athletic department who had to fire a football coach, athletic department who lost Bob Huggins because of an entire controversy, for a fan base that is as awesome, like blue collar, coal miner, they live and breathe sports as they come. This stinks. Matt Stick tweets, according to the committee, North Carolina was officially the last team in the field. On the latest bracket metrics featuring 111 bracketologists, Joey brackets included, West Virginia was in all 111. Texas in 50. Xavier in 30. North Carolina was only in 27, but they got in. And TJ, this is bad. If West Virginia would have been in 20 or 30 of them, I had the same tweet pulled up. You read my mind when we both grabbed that. I was literally going to ask you about that next. If they'd have been in 30 or 40, if there'd have been some debate, this would have been like West Virginia. I didn't look at any Vegas odds of who was going to get in. Sure. At 6 p.m. tonight. But I do know that like this would have been like West Virginia minus 1,000 or more, right? To be in 111 of these, like overwhelming favorite to get in. And again, there's no good argument to say that North Carolina should have been in. And listen, we've got a ton of North Carolina fans on here on College Football Addiction. This isn't really a shot at them. Like, I'm not trying to like crap. Right. Like, I don't really care. I'm just saying it doesn't look very good for your commissioner and North Carolina being an absolute blue blood of college basketball who had a very disappointing year. Like, North Carolina fans will be the first to tell you that, for their commissioner to be the chair. And I know they're going to comment, oh, well, he has to leave the room. Do you believe any of this crap? Like, come on, he's got to leave the room like we're 5-year-olds, right? Hey, go outside in the hall. We're going to take a test. Come on. And just the fact that he's got influence in there with people, the people are going to lean certain ways because he's not keeping his mouth shut on that. And the appearance of potential impropriety here is huge. And so, they just, there's no other way to say it. This wasn't close. They got jobbed. And as someone who has been complaining about getting jobbed for the last year and a half, this is just what we're going to get out of college sports. And it's not, every year there's a team on the bubble that complain, oh, we should have been in, we should have been. We've never had one like this. We've never had one where the athletic director of a school is the chair of the committee and his team gets in, and there's not one metric to support them having been in over the other team. Right, which is so. They're admitting it, right? You rob a bank, and then after you rob the bank, you send the leader of the robbers to the press conference saying, "We have no idea who robbed this bank," and they've got the camera footage to match. Like, oh, it's that guy. Chris Fallica tweets, UNC getting in over West Virginia, which had neutral site wins over Gonzaga and Arizona. A road win against Kansas is a bad call. Barrett Sallee, Indiana, 4-13 versus quad one. Ohio State 6-11 versus quad one. West Virginia 6-10 versus quad one. They all got left out for 1-12 North Carolina. Combined North Carolina and Xavier for quad one wins. They have 2, and each of those teams made it in. And the most hated man in West Virginia right now is Bubba Cunningham, the athletic director at North Carolina.
It is shameful the way this entire thing shook down. And look, Tucker Devries could have been an elite player for West Virginia. I think Javon Small deserved to be in March Madness. He's the caliber of player we should see in a tournament like this that can lead his team to a deep run. Darian Devries proved immediately he's one of the best up-and-coming coaches in college basketball. Now, all those storylines are squashed. And again, West Virginia could lose its head coach faster than expected if they go on a run to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8, which anyone can do in this tournament, as we've learned. From there, maybe DeVries is more inclined to stay. At this point, he could just say, you know what? I had a fun year. I'm done. I'm going back home. And that be that at West Virginia. This is bad no matter which way you look at it. Them not making it as wild, them not making it on the decision of the North Carolina athletic director whose school got in as the very last team in the field. That's bad.
Yeah, doesn't look very good. You mentioned, and so, I take everything back to Florida State, right? But we've got a similar situation here. Florida State fans were all over. His name was Boo Corrigan, the committee chair of the playoff committee when they got left out.
NC State, that's NC State, yeah.
Yeah, and Florida State fans kind of wanted the opposite to happen. Like, dude, you're an ACC guy. Like, it literally, like your college would make more money if Florida State made the playoff, right? If you were the one to influence putting them in. Now, is that maybe impropriety the other way? Sure. Right. Like, is that your emotions being, but if he'd have made that decision because it would have benefited NC State for them to make it. Yeah, that's not necessarily right. Right. If he'd have put Florida State in, but it is infinitely worse for you to be the guy who is the AD at your school. Right. And so, yeah, I feel for the West Virginia fans. I know what you're going through. I get it. I saw a tweet from Chris Hassell of CBS Sports that said the committee referenced DeVries not being available, his injury. He hadn't played a game in 3 months. He didn't play one Big 12 game. That is not the same as Cooper Flagg didn't play in the ACC. Did you see, not that Duke was going to get left out, but did you see Duke immediately come out this week and say, hey, we have let the committee know he is good to go. He is playing next week. Now, whether or not he plays next week, which I think he will, they were very clear to say, hey, he's playing. And why wouldn't you? I think the Jordan Travis injury has probably shaped the way that we are going to report on injuries now. If we're a university, we are going to say like, no, he's a full go. He's ready to go next week, because why wouldn't you? If Cooper's hurt and not playing, is Duke maybe a 2 seed? Are they maybe a 3 seed at that point? But anyway, back to the point. For Tucker's injury, an injury that's over 3 months old, to be referenced in this is maybe the funniest part to me.
Yeah. The idea that North Carolina too comes from a conference, like, yes, it's funny, the whole injury deal. Then now they want to use that when multiple guys in their conference tournaments got hurt, from Memphis to Duke to Houston. It's even funnier to me. North Carolina comes from the worst power conference in college basketball. They only played, there was not a single ranked matchup the entire year in that league. Duke did not play a ranked team in the ACC at all this season. That, TJ, very, very, not just bad, but this screams, that the future of college athletics is going to be anti-Big 12, is going to be anti-little man, is going to be anti, fun stories and the underdog. The dictators of college athletics have won, and they're going to continue to win.
Yeah, and I would agree with you on that completely, because we all kind of know, we talk enough about realignment, and we all kind of know the future that the ACC is headed in. Yeah. And they're even losing some of that basketball prowess. Now, Duke has been the one team to kind of avoid that. Clemson and Louisville had okay years this year, no doubt. But this feels like the Big 12 gets no respect. The ACC very soon will get no respect in most sports, at least most revenue sports. And this felt like Bubba Cunningham and UNC just kind of cherry picking one more before power is ultimately stripped away from them, or before they go on somewhere else. Crazy. This is, I don't really think about college basketball snubs the same way we do football, because there's 68 teams, right, that get in. If you can't be one of those top however many teams, then we don't give it the same attention. This is probably the biggest one that I think this will fester. This will linger for quite a while. This is the biggest one that I can ever remember.
Yeah, certainly to West Virginia fans who, again, live and breathe athletics. That's a program that I feel greatly for because of what they've gone through the last couple of years. Add this to the list of reasons that being a West Virginia fan has been absolutely brutal recently.
Yeah. West Virginia fans have my sympathy. I'll cheer for you guys in the next few sporting events that you guys play, just because my heart goes out to you. So, Drake, I appreciate you for hanging out. We jumped on here a little bit quicker. We'll probably do something else later in the week. But in the meantime, where can people find you?
Always fun, TJ. It's at LO Big 12, at Drake C. Toll on Twitter, and wherever you find your podcasts with Locked On Big 12.
Appreciate you, man.
Yep. Today's show is brought to you by Supply House. Supply House has been very key for me right now because I just bought a house. I need to buy a whole lot of stuff. Little did I know it's like $100 here, $100 there. You got to spend a lot of money. Not with Supply House. Plumbing, HVAC, electrical work. They are the reliable way to order products online. Easy to use website packed with helpful resources. Latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus the complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands. You'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it is your turn. Join the Trade Masters program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. That is all at Supply House. Use code SH5 for 5% off your first order with Supply House. Today's show is also brought to you by Wayfair. Wayfair is also a place that I've gone now that I bought a new house because they are the home and style experts. Easier than ever right now to use Wayfair for everything that you need in one place. Huge selection to make it easy to find the perfect piece no matter your space or budget. Cozy furniture, stylish decor, kitchen essentials, outdoor must-haves. Wayfair has it all at the prices that fit your budget. I was looking for a new rug. Found it. Wayfair. Looking for light fixtures for my new house. Found it. Wayfair. Need to help design the fireplace. Wayfair. Even storage solutions and patio decor. Head to wayfair.com and find something to style your way. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair. Every style, every home. Big 12 placed in a bad spot overall here. Don't love it. Don't love the way some of these teams shook out. BYU, West Virginia, Baylor, namely. Do like the path for Texas Tech, for Iowa State. I think Houston, no matter who you put them up against, was going to the Final Four no matter what. That is the way it sits in the Big 12. Tomorrow on Locked On Big 12. Tuesday on Locked On Big 12. Every day the rest of this week. Complete bracket breakdowns, game by game, in depth. You know where to go. This has been and always will be Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.